Well,
Hey, we've got the A&A show here. Amanda Holderness and Abby Dagnice. Hello, girls. And hi, Eric.
Hello.
hello.
First, I'm going to start by giving a disclaimer. This is for entertainment only, okay? Prediction. This is for 2023 predictions. And, there is free will. So what we're going to give you now, pretty much, is the quantum probability at this point in time. Things can change. So don't shoot the messenger. Would either of you like to add to that at all?
Yeah, it's all about trajectories. So my predictions, what I get and what she's gonna get, we're usually pretty in line with each other, but it's all about trajectory. And again, like you were talking about, there's free will. So
Yeah,
yeah.
individual and collective. And that can change all sorts of stuff. But it'll give us like bumpers in the bowling alley, basically. Um, Abby, you want to add anything else before we start asking some of the questions?
Um, yeah, just what we were
Want to
talking
say
about before
something?
this, like, God gave us free will. That
Right.
was our gift, to mankind, to humanity. That's part of our humanness is free
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
So, whenever I do readings for people, obviously they always want to know what's going to happen in my future, and so I can tell people like, hey, on the course we're on right now, this is like a screenshot of where we're
Exactly.
at. And these are the biggest probabilities of what could happen if we stay on this trajectory, the good and the bad. Either way,
Right.
you have free will, but then there's also, uh, along the way, things that do happen that are supposed to and meant to happen.
Yeah.
And when I do readings with people, I get the shove pretty strongly from spirit, like, hey, this is definitely going to happen. And I'm not changing my mind about that. And I'm not a betting woman, although I did play bingo for the first time the other night. Um,
All right, we'll get
and
started. I've got 24 questions. So, I know both of you guys are going to add something to each, but we're going to have to kind of be relatively succinct, I think, but we'll see. Here's the first question from the community. What do you think about the Bitcoin price prediction? Uh, or is there any other cryptocurrency we should buy that might go up next year? I don't know anything about that. My husband says stay away from it. That his firm is not even allowed to deal with it.
So for me, I'm not getting a specific number, but I do see banks and standardizing it more towards the end of the year with big banks like on Wall Street and things like
Okay.
that. So that is something that I have heard that Eric's telling me about that
Okay.
is supposed to be on path for end of 2023,
Regulating so that you
closer
don't
to
get
that.
the whatever
With the
bank
bigger banks, he's
thing.
saying
Yeah.
the big guys, with the big guys.
What are you getting
um,
briefly?
Eric's bringing up to me to add to that something about the European Union, about how over in Europe, the bigger banks are going to be multiplying its numbers for Bitcoin. So I don't know much about Bitcoin, but I think
I
it's
don't
like
either.
a combo of numbers, like long strands of numbers.
Oh,
And over in Europe, um, he's saying that it's being, especially there's going to be like a burst of it. Um,
what is
Even more than there is now with
it's
the
gonna be
Bitcoin.
more prevalent?
It's going to be more prevalent.
Oh,
It's going to start holding up more as a form of currency within all of Europe. And it has a lot to do, Eric says, with the depreciation of the euro itself.
yeah.
And it's going to be, it's actually he says, a soul contract. It's a contract, like in humanity, that it's actually supposed to go towards a currency that's more computerized,
But it's gonna have
based
to be
off.
regulated to prevent what just happened with that something Bankman Fried SBF they call them. So hopefully that will be the precursor. Those are regulations by the big banks. I know
Yeah.
that El Salvador, I think they're changing to Bitcoin, which is, I heard that on one of the questions from
Yeah, I don't know if it'll just be Bitcoin. There might be something else that comes out too. Like Bitcoin, yes, but there might be something else too. But I'm feeling I'm closer to the end of the year with the big banks.
Okay. Will there be another crash? And so what should we invest in next year? That is safe. I mean, this year, really, because these were taken in 2022.
You want me to go?
Go ahead, Abby.
Okay. Oh, I just lost it. Okay, go ahead. You go ahead, and then I'll go.
I just see a
Okay.
roller coaster. I see a roller coaster like just going up and
Okay.
down. I don't think it'll be anything out of the norm of what we've been seeing just this past year.
Okay.
That's what he's showing me. He's just showing me a roller coaster with it just ups and downs, ups and downs. Nothing. I don't feel like there's gonna be a huge crash or anything like that.
Okay, Abby, what do you think what does Eric
He's
say?
saying
Good place
the
to invest?
predictability. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yes.
It just comes in so fast. I haven't done this in a
Yeah.
while. The predictability, he says, is there because of the upcoming election year.
Okay.
He's saying that as the influences grow stronger. Wow, so Europe really has a lot to do with this also.
Oh,
Because their currency exchange and their currency rate and how they're exchanging money, it's gonna really affect our political elections about how it's going to affect our finances. I mean, that's pretty cliche, I guess, but it's true. It's kind of funny because it's like US has always been this huge superpower, but there's another superpower here that's really making it clear that we're in this century. So it's now about society developing a whole union, not just like US and then everybody else underneath. It's really the UN and developing that. And
yeah, like more of a global thing.
yeah, so if we have a crash, it's going to be because the European Union has a crash,
Okay,
and we're going to all be affected as a whole because of what's happening over there.
right. That's
So,
pretty typical. Is our money? Oh, any investment that you recommend, Eric? That's kind of a safe bet. Put it under your mattress. Bury it in mason
okay.
jars in your backyard.
So I am getting something here with the electric cars. Like he's bringing up like like a Tesla again.
There probably are ETFs that do all electric stuff. What do you think,
Yeah,
Amanda?
He's talking about a defense stock, some sort of defense stock.
Okay. There's probably ETFs on defense stocks too, like Grumman and all that kind of stuff. All right. Is our money in the banks? Well, you want to say anything else?
So he's bringing up the increase in not just electrical cars, but like you know how like mobile gas stations, like you can go to the mall now and you can, if you have an electric car, you can plug into it there.
So the
There's
grid
some,
too, investing in the grid.
yeah, there's something with that investing
Oh,
that whole as a that, but like separate companies that create like their own electric mobile station.
oh, okay.
Interesting.
Mobile, like mobile, or
I mean, not mobile itself, but
okay,
it'll have its own brands,
okay,
you know. It'll have its own, like I said, like they're at the malls, they're at rest areas, you know, it's like it's gonna
yeah,
have its branded
it's
name.
getting there. It's
Yeah, and
getting there.
it's going to be big like a mobile, you know, it's gonna be something like that, but it's getting there and it's in the mix and in the make. And what's his name, the owner of Tesla? I don't follow anything, I
Elon
know
Musk.
Elon Musk.
him, that man.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Amanda. What will happen to the dollar? Will it crash in 2023?
Will the dollar completely crash in 2023? I don't get crash. But again, like money, stocks, trajectory, it's so hard with stocks in particular.
Yeah, very much.
That's what I'm getting right now.
Because they're
I don't feel
so
like
that
it's going to
this
be a
company's full of
crash.
free wills, minds of the CEOs, the CFOs, all the
And it's highly
shareholders.
dependent upon, like Abby said, it's highly dependent upon other countries too.
Yeah.
And war and things like that. So
There's something about this fluctuation I'm getting of specific number. It's like 23 cents. So either it could go either way. It could go either depreciate 23 cents or it could go up 23 cents.
I mean,
So, but
inflation, I feel like inflation is still going to be a thing in 2023.
Yeah.
2024 is where it's going to be at, but 2023, I think inflation is still going to be a thing.
Tighten your belts, people. Ugh. All right. Are we going to see any changes with the Iranian people in the next few months or this year? I feel like they're doing such great things for the rest of humanity, but do you see a potential for a quick turnaround? I mean, they are protesting and trying to topple the, what do you call them, mullahs, the Khomeini, the religious dictators. Are they going to be successful?
Quick turnaround, I'm not getting quick. What about you, Abby? I'm not getting quick.
so I'm not getting quick, but I am like seeing this image of this woman who is gorgeous, by the way. Um, and she's taking a very gosh, she has to be very careful. She's very underground about what how high of a stance she has politically and how many followers like and people are listening to her. And it's much more than just like because their whole society is religious based and they really believe that she is like a coming of a goddess, a Jesus, like that's how they're going to
And
portray
this is
her.
not the one that got killed because she didn't wear her Habib right or whatever it's called. It's
Am I
not,
a bad
it's
person
a
because
living person, right?
about that? I feel terrible. I don't know
Habib.
anything about that. That's awful. That's a terrible.
Yeah.
Living, for sure, living.
Good. Okay.
She's
What-
living right now. She's underground. She's doing work. Like I see her with small children. I see her with communities. I see her. It's not about the ego for her. It's not about the praise for her. It really is about the liberty.
heroin.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Amanda, do you see in 2023 Iran as a democracy or will it take a little longer?
You're just saying it's going to take some, I feel like it's going to take some time. I get that it's going to take some time.
Okay. What about China? You know, they have got all those protests there. They've been protesting because of the LOCKDONS. I guess the people welding them into their apartments and all that stuff.
China is going to have a very rough year. I'm seeing a lot of protests in the streets. I'm seeing a lot of people being dragged. I'm seeing a lot of people being beaten. I'm seeing a lot of
Decreased population.
Oh.
a lot more sickness in general than just what you hear about on the news. Wow. So up on a higher scale, okay, whoever the president is there and how that works.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm scared to say he isn't really for the people and sometimes doesn't like his people as much as some of his followers want to or do.
It's about greed and power.
Yeah, he doesn't have right intentions and it's really about ego and power
Well,
and
there's so many people and there's so few of the elite government. Of course, there's the military, but I mean, will they eventually overthrow the Communist Party and become a democracy?
not in
Not
2023.
this year.
Not this year. This year's going to be
It's going to be
a rough
bad.
year.
It's going to be rough.
It's going to
Keep
be rough.
fighting, people. Ugh.
I feel like there's also going to be, I'm hearing tariffs, I'm hearing travel restrictions like are going to be
Very
very
much so.
put in place to China. I mean, And we're talking about 2023 specifically.
We're only talking about that, right? All right,
It's going to be more headliners, but also it's almost like I'm getting like October-ish is when it's going to really like, yeah.
October surprise. Now, speaking of terrorist attacks, will we have any major terrorist attacks on U.S. soil in 2023?
I'm getting more, it's going to be more cyber attack.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's gonna be anything
There's going to be
that's
more,
physical.
yeah, more influencing the upcoming election.
Okay.
Eric's screaming at me. He's like, they're not as stupid as you think, people. Like, they're also in this century, in this decade with us in a lot of ways. And one of them, Eric is saying, is technology and how they choose to have warfare and how they choose to affect us, because it's not just about affecting us by how they affected us on foot by walking into our country and stabbing us with, knives. It's really about affecting us as a lifestyle
What do you
in
say, Amanda?
everything.
Power too. Power
Yeah.
too. Like electricity power. I don't know if it has to
Oh,
do
that
with
kind of power. Yeah.
that. But I'm seeing like electricity, like power outages widespread on coasts in particular. I don't know if
Oh.
that's relating to this, but he screamed power at me.
Okay. Now,
So that makes me.
Abby, will there be any other countries at war, starting a new war in 2023?
There's going to be a lot with Iran,
Okay.
a lot more with Iraq.
Okay, this is for Amanda. I want her to get a little more FaceTime.
Me? Oh, okay.
Yes, you. Maybe I
Um,
said Abby. I'm sorry.
yeah, you said Abby. You're fine. He brings up
She
like
has a gift of gab. Go ahead.
Russia with me. I hear talks about Russia.
Mm.
I do feel like middle of the year things are going to get wrapped up. Things are going to be,
In the Russia-Ukraine thing?
correct. I feel like
How's-
mid-year things are going to get wrapped up. Am I allowed to say what I think is going to happen with Putin?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I think Putin's going to
Sure.
pass away. Very
Oh,
much, very,
really?
very strong probability that Putin will be passing away. Someone else
Wow.
will come in that's much more moderate.
Mm.
Very strong feeling on that.
What are you getting, Abby?
There's two possibilities I'm getting, that could very much happen.
Mm.
But no matter what, there is definitely something going on with Putin when it comes to his, well, maybe we all know his mental health, but also something with his, I'm getting something about stage 4, like
Cancer.
like cancer or
Ooh.
something that's just completely out of his control.
Some people think he's got cancer. Some people think
Colon. I feel like colon cancer is what I've been picking up.
some people think he might have Parkinson's. I just don't know. But we'll see. But so who
We'll see.
in 2023, which country will come out on top? I mean, Putin could say, okay, I'm dying, let's get this done, and then okay, I'm going to take this part of the country, and then Ukraine agrees to that. But who's going to end up on top, Ukraine or Russia in the end?
I don't feel like it'll be a total victory for Russia. I don't feel like it'll be that way. I feel like there's going to, for Putin in particular, I feel like there's going to be just feelings of inadequacy with that.
Oh, Abby, do you think that ultimately Ukraine will lose territory to Russia?
So the lines, I'm getting really strongly that the lines are going to be drawn. And really what this war, okay, I'm getting huge spirit bombs, so I know I'm right about this.
Yeah.
There's definite with this whole situation that happened. I mean, as horrific and awful as it is, it was very much in the design. So that way, like I said at the beginning, it's not about one country being a superpower. It's about countries uniting, like the UN.
Yeah.
And about how you can make Eric saying, a diplomatic society in general across the board, while everybody's running their own individual unions. Well, that sounded really smart. You can totally tell I'm channeling.
Wow, that's oh my God, I know that happens to me too. Will President Joe Biden finish his term in 2023? Abby, you go first. Or what, Amanda, Amanda, and then you.
Man, you go first.
So I've been doing some work on Joe Biden and his health. It's very much so in question. I do feel like Kamala Harris will be doing a lot of work, a lot of work. It's very possible that he could pass in 2023 is what I'm getting. Very
Okay.
possible, but trajectories change.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah.
very possible he could pass.
He seems more cognitively with it than he has been in the past. So he's maybe on some Alzheimer's drugs or whatever. What are you getting, Abby?
So I'm getting that 2023, it's going to continue to be a lot of a cover up. Okay. He's kind of more of the figurehead versus the you know, the one that's, they're gonna do it for as long as they can until Eric's like, just spit it out until he can't deliver speeches anymore.
Okay.
Right.
Until it's like so obvious that he can't. And I feel kind of bad in the sense that, I mean, just from a medical standpoint, how that must feel for him as a man. You know, I'm president of the United States and I can't hold a fork or a cup or walk up the staircase. Like, you know, so as far as 2023 goes, I'm not getting a clear picture if he's going to finish the term, but it's a really big possibility that it's going to be way more out in the headlines than we've even seen yet. And we know we've seen a lot of it, but it's going to get worse. It's just it's inevitable.
It's going to be very much so like deterioration for sure. He may still be it's more towards the end of the year for me that I'm seeing, but definitely Kamala Harris will be doing a lot of the work.
Oh, God. All right.
Well, that party.
If he is not able to run in 2024, actually that's for 2024 questions. We'll do that next year. Okay. Will there be states that have flooding in this next year?
Yes.
Can you name some of them? I mean,
flooding, I mean, not just in the US, but he's talked about lots of flooding. He shows me like Europe as well. But in the States as well, flooding's going to be a lot bigger this year than it was
like California.
Year.
Oh my God.
Right. Not even just floods, but like earthquakes, tsunami. A tsunami is supposed to be coming, like landslides, like much more so this year, with what I'm getting. What about you, Abby?
So Eric's bringing up the southern border for sure. Again,
Florida. Somebody else said too. Yeah.
Yeah, Florida's going to get slammed. Keep getting slammed.
I see
the
at least
islands
yeah.
are going to keep getting slammed. I'm also seeing like a lot more fires, bigger fires. I'm picking up landslides.
Yeah. Yep. It's going on in California.
I don't know if you said landslides already, Amanda, or not.
I did, yeah. No, but you're good. You're validating it.
Okay.
I agree, unfortunately.
All right. Finance and banking has not really changed much since the Middle Ages. Will the World Economic Forum, I don't know what that is, make changes? And if so, what will be the income of that influence? World Economic Forum.
I get like yes energy. I don't know what that is, but I get like yes vibes. Okay.
Will it be positive or negative changes?
He makes me feel good about it. I feel good about it.
How about you, Abby?
Being brought back to the currency issues with every country individually, and the price of a euro and how much that's going to be worth by the end of 2023. Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
Well, now Europe is my father-in-law, who recently died, was the one that created the hydroelectrical plants and supplying all electricity to Oslo and the surroundings in Norway. And he was really disillusioned at the end of his life. He said, all is lost, because the Norwegian government sold all that electricity to Germany, and I think maybe other European nations. And so now the electricity for poor Norwegians is through the roof. We have a little cabin up there, and we have it on maintenance climate, and we had to pay $700 this month, and we have it like set the temperature at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So what's going to happen with that? I mean, Germany, I don't know. It's taking all
Eric's
that
bringing up, he's saying we think we have it bad here with like the price of eggs right now,
I know.
And everything else. I mean, it's so much more than just eggs. But over in Europe, it's like here he's showing me it's going to be the government's going to control it a little bit more. So there's still going to be price hikes and maybe not many, if any, drops. But in Europe, it's going to skyrocket really bad, and it's going to get worse. And
well, it's really sad because Germany went away. I mean, some people say that Putin sent activists to promote the whole green energy thing, and that's why hydroelectricity from Norway, they bought that, and they closed down coal plants, even clean coal plants and other renewable resources of energy, and that's why we're in the pickle we did, because now Putin says, yeah, I'll sell you oil. That's it, now that they're desperate.
Eric's chiming in and he's screaming at me again, like, there's some invention this year that's going to be used decades down the road for energy. It's something to do with energy, renewable, is what he's showing me. I don't know the words for it, but it's something that's being invented this year.
Is
and
it
it's
like
going to
related
be
to hydrogen
huge.
or water or?
I was just about to tell you,
What's-
as she was talking, I was like seeing like a lot of water, like a gush of water.
What's
is what I was
fusion?
seeing.
What is fusion?
Fission is dangerous. Fusion is not. I don't know very much more about that. But let's
Something
see
that
if
starts
we
with an
can
F, I don't know.
Bestefar, my father-in-law Oswald Medhus. Maybe he could see things from his standpoint. Can we bring him in? Such a lovely man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel like I'm picking up.
Very thin.
He's bringing up the dams.
Okay.
And he's bringing up the power from the dams.
Yeah.
And he's saying how it needs to go down to a more localized value of producing, is what he's saying. So we need to kind of get, well, he's right. I agree with him here. He's saying we need to get back to old school, ways of thought about taking care of our neighbors and taking care of each other. He's showing me like a basket full of bread and giving it to your neighbor. We need to start thinking about each other and next door, and how we can help our next door neighbors, and thinking about our cities and individual power unit sources that way versus globally, or
right. Giving it all away to Germany. It's just been horrible for the Norwegians, and he worked so hard on this. So, well, thank you, Bestefar. I miss you, and I love you very much. Amanda, you get anything from him?
Everything that she covered is really what I was, same thing.
Right. That's awesome. Do you see Germany and hence the rest of Europe turning around and like deciding to transition to fully green and go ahead and open up those clean
not fully, but
and all that, maybe slowly instead of just cutting everybody off so that they have to pay so much.
Eric's saying it's something that's being developed and is consistently discussed during the UN Diplomatic Society's events.
Okay. Okay. Do you see Scotland vote to leave the Westminster Rule? I don't know what that is, but let me see what that is. But go ahead.
I don't know what it is, but I gotta know.
Okay.
So I think whatever.
I'd agree.
All right.
Really?
I don't know what it is either, but I'm getting no.
Okay. Well, I'll look that up. But Will China invade Taiwan in 2023?
Very strong possibility. Again,
I just got a
trajectory,
yes.
very strong.
Mhm.
Okay,
Not smart, but
no. What's the percentage quantum probability?
Remember when I was bringing up like towards the end of the year
Okay.
that we were going to see like China much more in, we see them a lot anyway on the news and on headlines, but it's like there's going to be a bang that's going to happen.
What's that?
A bang as in an interruption, Eric says. There's going to
Okay.
be an interruption. So maybe, I don't know what he means by that, but it could be an interruption in just the way that it's all happening. They could say, screw it, like let's just, you know, invade.
Mm.
And it's very
there
Oh,
won't
what do
be
you,
much change until there's new leadership. It's the person
Where?
that's in power right now with China.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen anytime soon. All right. What's going to be the main social, political, economic, and touristic consequences of invading Taiwan? I mean, do you have a probability like 50%, 60%?
Very high is what I keep
I'm
getting.
getting
I keep
higher.
getting very high, very high.
I'm getting more like in the 75 range.
Wow.
I feel like even higher than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What effect will it have? Socially, politically, economically, etc.
I don't follow politics at all, but I'm hearing NATO, so I don't know what this would mean, but or if it even relates, but like other countries joining NATO,
Okay.
is what I'm getting. Like this year, you're going to see more countries joining NATO.
Interesting. I wonder if Taiwan is
What do you
I'm
get?
getting that it's interesting how Eric brings through timing for me, because sometimes like he'll give me events that are happening, you know, like so he's bringing up new political powers within our country and even another new prime minister um maybe stepping forward. So I don't know what's going to happen with the prime minister of England now. I'm not trying to bring up another topic, but it's yeah, that's more the timing, is when you start seeing a lot more political figures that are new on TV is when
and not as
there's
corrupt. Oh. Okay.
I wouldn't say not as corrupt.
Okay. They're all corrupt. Well, no, that's not true. All right. Will Haiti finally finds sorry, Haiti finally find some measure of peace and stability in 2023?
I get good energy. I get good energy. I feel yes. I feel good energy.
Good.
Better.
Better than it is, right?
That's what I get.
So Eric's been saying like there's been an evolution of power and in the world and who they are and what they represent and what they are, and you know it's been an evolution in their society and they're just going to continue to
Yeah.
evolve. However, they're really doing a lot of work this year, because we're talking about 2023,
Yeah.
about weeding out the bad people, the people that are much more corrupt, and corrupt in the crazy way where I'm gonna machete you and destroy your family, you know.
Putin and Maduro and all that. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so I think somebody told me that this is going to be the year of exposure, exposing, uncovering. Sunlight is the best disinfectant throughout the world. Is that the case?
I agree 100%, especially politically.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Especially politically. It's gonna be big
It's
time
like what
this year.
yeah, it's like what Amanda and I were talking about you're gonna see much more in the headlines that are just they can't cover up, like
Oh
Biden,
yeah, that's right. I remember you said that. Yeah.
you know, and they're trying to really
Not just
so
Biden. Yeah,
it's not just
Biden,
Oh yeah. No, it's not just him.
but Trump
no,
too. They're talking about Trump too.
Oh yeah, he's got probably skeletons.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, in his closet too.
they're
Yeah.
planting a lot in the politics right now.
Yeah.
to up the approval rating. So that way, as his health is declining, people will be more mournful, more, they're trying to produce a climate, is what Erik is saying. Again, very insightful, Erik.
Oh, that's my boy. I'd like to ask you, what will happen to Eastern Europe, including Poland, in 2023 due to what is going on in Ukraine? Will there be any big disasters in Eastern Europe, including Poland?
I don't feel like man-made. I feel more like there's going to be some earthly stuff that could go on there.
I was just getting the same thing, and something about Hungary was brought up. It was just brought to me too.
Okay.
Something about the country of Hungary. Something's
Like
gonna
some
happen.
climate change thing or some geo.
No, something to do with the political powers of the world and how they're affected.
Okay.
I'm just not picking. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just
Yeah.
that I'm personally not picking up like
Huge.
a giant asteroid, destroying Italy. Like I'm not
No,
getting anything
no,
like
no.
that.
Russia not invading Poland and stuff like that. Eastern Europe. Okay, got it.
So there's actually a really big problem though now because of all of the refugees. So as they're coming into these other countries, and we're talking about Poland specifically, we're talking about also the problem with the currency rate and the currency exchange, and an overpopulation and an overabundance of people, and a lot of racial. I don't even know what the word is. Racial. What is it called? Interculturally. What is it?
International.
Like you're
I
from
don't know.
here, I'm from there. I
Yeah,
don't like,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like it's not just about the black and the white, or the Spanish and the not, in the white. It's more about like they're getting kind of hated on because we had this strong country and our economic foundation was growing and strong, and then this happened, and now because of that, we're going to blame you. So there's going to be a lot of
Resentment.
huge, very sad things that are happening that we will never see, when it comes to, Erik's using the word polarizing. I don't even know what that word is. Other people from other countries. And it's not just Poland, but we brought up Poland specifically.
Yeah. Okay, Amanda, let's stretch that over to the southern border. There've been such a flood of people, and there's, I think, probably the same kind of resentment, like, you're tearing down our economy, you're flooding our schools, you're flooding our emergency rooms, etc. Is that going to go on too? I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying.
Yes. Again, I see a lot of it more leading up until even like middle of the year. I do feel like things are going to get better towards the end of the year, though. I feel like towards the end of the year, things will get better, showing me more resolve towards the end of the year.
What's going to happen to all the people, the millions and millions of people who are already here illegally? They broke the law. What's going to happen? I mean, can we say, okay, I'm sorry, you can stay here, but you're not getting any government benefits?
Some sort of government involvement. Yeah, some sort of government involvement that hasn't been talked about yet. There's going to be some sort of involvement with that.
Get back in line. Because this whole magnet that we've created has created a lot of deaths and empowered the cartels and created an increase in fentanyl overdoses and women being raped on the way, and child trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking. It's just been terrible. So if we could stop it, but make it easier for people to come in legally, I think fine.
Making it a little bit easier. Correct. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a process.
Yeah.
There is not an answer I'm getting for 2023 of this, just like
So
getting better, getting worse, falling away completely. There's no absolution to this. It's just like it's gonna have its ups and lows, highs and lows throughout the year. Still, again, another year of this. And we're talking about 2023 because like I also feel like 2024 is going to be a huge year.
You know, I'm
Like,
getting from all the mediums that 2023, not much shit's gonna happen. It's not gonna
Right.
be
It's kind of like a
flying.
continuation of 2022.
Yeah, great.
2024, I'm excited for 2024. I'll say that, but I feel
Awesome.
like 2023 is going to be kind of a continuation.
Okay. What will happen to the economy in South Africa? South Africa. Anything or even a tiny bit better or worse or
it has to do with, I'm sorry, Amanda, did you want
You're
to go?
fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Again, the state of the world right now with this,
Yeah.
its
Not
economical,
better yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
its status, it's not fixed. It's not getting better. It's in
static,
fact
just like the
getting worse.
2023
Eric's
thing?
saying you can all, this is what Eric is saying, quote unquote, you can all be your psychics with this, with just knowing what's happening in the world, with how this is going to go in South Africa. It's not hard, he says.
Okay.
He says, he's being so rude. He's going, put your thinking caps on.
Oh, Eric. Well, we should. I need to upgrade my thinking cap. All right. Will Minnesota legalize marijuana for adults, not just for medical purposes, in 2023?
He goes, yeah, but I need to truth test that because I feel like he might be messing with me. But
Yeah, because you know how he
jokingly
feels
was
about
like,
that.
yeah. He said yes. He said yeah.
Okay.
As on that topic as well, can I add to it?
Go
Yeah,
for it.
of course.
Okay, so as it becomes more, prevalent legally, we're also going to see a debate much more, and that's going to be an issue with our upcoming elections, with how they're going to regulate this.
Yeah.
Whether they put a tax on it, how it's going, because it's going to be hard to control, and and he's using the words, it's going to be hard to manipulate by the government. So
That makes sense.
he's saying, go to the polls, people, for the pot.
Oh, that sounds like him. Now, will there be any specific action taken to bring down those operating international child sex trafficking rings? There were major arrests made this year in the US, but media seem to downplay it. So why? And will we see more of such
They are
arrests on a global scale?
on the back end. He's saying yes, but it's on the back end.
What do you
So we
mean?
may not see everything, we may
Oh,
not
it's
hear
behind the
everything. They're
curtain?
working, yeah, behind the curtains.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hope so. That's terrible.
Continuation. It's a continuation. You
All
showing
right.
me continuation.
So the
He's
same,
saying,
working behind the
he's saying
curtain,
it's
but
with the
nothing.
feds. It's with the feds.
Okay.
Right.
What are you getting, Abby?
With the feds.
Okay. Any updates? What benevolent and malevolent ET beings have and will be doing behind our eyes and outside our planet in this year in 2023? Like, is there any wars between them occurring here? Ooh.
I did get a hit that there will be a sighting in 2023
Okay.
over an ocean, and thousands of people will see with their own
Wow.
eyes.
Wow.
I asked which ocean. I'm feeling like Pacific,
Okay.
but I do feel that that's going to be in 2023.
Oh, cool. Now, is it going to be a galactic war between the bad and the good ETs?
No,
Okay.
Eric's saying they're watching people. They're always watching.
they
That's
are
like,
interfering with our crap that we've got going on here because we can't handle ourselves. There's so much. They're highly evolved. They're so much more intelligent than we are, and they're saving us
All the help
from
we
our
can get.
own shit. He
Yeah,
says.
save
So,
us from ourselves, please.
and it's
that's
out
so
there.
funny.
Like, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. No. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because like as you're talking, he's like reminding me that they're cross-dimensional beings.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like Bigfoot and
Yep.
so we're trying, he's saying we're trying to put them in human terms of what they exactly
They're
even
not.
are.
Yep.
And they're not. So to allow yourself to manipulate your own mind and open up to the concept of ETs, you have to be open to the concept of faith in general, and multidimensional universes and what's behind Mars. He says, and he says that's just too much. That's too much
Right.
for most people to be able to comprehend.
And you're only going to be able to see them if they want you to see them again, because like you're saying, cross-dimensional, they can show up, but they can also disappear just like that. And but they are starting to show themselves more. They have interfered multiple times as well with things that we've got going on. He's talking about with Russia in particular,
Really?
as well. 100%,
Oh.
100%.
Was it to me? I think that ETs show themselves in UFOs and all that stuff, or little green men or whatever. But it's probably not that way. They probably are able to completely project their consciousness into our 3D dimension, and almost like a virtual.
Yeah, they're closer to source than we are.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
getting
more
it's almost
connected.
like they're almost like it's almost kind of like when you pass away. It's like once you allow it, you walk out of a room,
Yeah.
you know, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
That's how it feels for them. Erik says when they're, you know, being cross-dimensional, they're going one place to another.
There's gonna be something else. He's saying there's gonna be like a dig site somewhere.
Oh.
That's gonna like they're gonna find something that also gives more evidence of ET life
Oh. Do you know where that is?
this
Y'all
year.
look up the geography. Are you okay, Abby?
Yeah, sorry.
You gotta stop smoking. I'm kidding.
Erik says, smoke that pot.
No, nowhere close to here. I'm terrible at geography. He's like nowhere close to here. But 2023, he says that will happen in 2023.
Cool. All right. Are you okay, Abby? Okay.
I'm fine. I'm good.
As a future educator, I'm curious as to what direction the teacher shortage will go in the US. Well, first of all, y'all need to pay teachers more. And yeah, I know there's the
Change.
strikes going on. Well, maybe that's the nurses. Well, that too. Nurses and teachers must be paid more, in my opinion.
I see a change with the education system. I don't think it's going to be this year, like completely. It's going to be a whole like U-Haul, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's going to all be done in this year, unfortunately.
What about you, Abby? What's going to happen this year, if anything?
This year's just not going to be that exciting. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Not like
It's just
Kind
not.
of a continuation,
Just beam me up to 2024, people.
but it's
He-
progress. And also he wants to reiterate, so these worldly things may be going on, but individually, for people individually, there's a lot of growth that can happen for everyone. And that'll lead you up to 2024, which will be a whole lot better. But in 2023, it's all about like personal growth, personal change, things like that. So focus on you.
That's what I've been getting
Yeah.
from the other mediums too. Will interracial and or same-sex marriage remain legal throughout the US? God, I hope so.
Erik's saying there's going to be a take back before a get back.
Oh,
So I don't maybe I don't know. That's what he's saying.
okay, that's not cool. All right, one person wants to ask, how big is the deal for 2023 Awakening? It sounds like it's going to be a dud this year. It's not going to be a huge awakening.
It's not okay. So it's remember, well, none of us remember really, but back in World War II. Okay,
Right.
so World War II happened. You know, the good guys won, and then there was a rebuilding era.
Right.
And in the history books, we read all about
Yeah.
World War II, how it started and how it ended, and you know the battles in between. But we're not actually talking about the years it took to rebuild Germany.
Yeah.
You know, and the money that went into that, and the cooperation it took
Yeah.
between countries to allow that to be. So Erik says Amanda's right. It doesn't make 2023 any less important. It's just a matter of, you know, it hopefully won't be like a 9/11 for the history books, because there are years where it's unfortunate like that. And then there are other years where it's a rebuilding process after the horror, of what we just went through recently, even,
Well, Amanda, do you
I
think that, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just he's chatting a lot to me, and I don't even know if it's on topic at this point because he just starts talking a bunch. But yeah, just a lot of change. So change is not always a bad thing. People are getting tired of the way things are going right now. We're tired. We're sick of it. People are tired of it. People want peace. So I feel like everything that's happening right now is making way for that eventually.
Okay.
Like I said with Russia, I really do feel like that. He's making me feel like that's really gonna take a whole change mid-year. People in power, lots of change as well. Maybe not always the best of change. I feel like the Pope in particular will be stepping down. I feel like King Charles as well. I think he's going to be stepping down in 2023 as well.
Wow. All right, quick
Lots of
question.
change.
Yeah, that's good. Exposure brings change. Sunlight. Okay, so real quick, and I just got a couple more, because we're running out of time. But will Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine, at least in part? Either of you?
Trajectory. He's like trajectory. Go ahead, Abby. But he's saying trajectory, so it could kind of go either way.
Okay, that's fine. So middle of the fence, on the fence.
I'm getting a more of a no.
Yeah, sounds like it. All right, what positive impact can we as a collective achieve if we try in 2023? What positive impact, the collective?
So for me, he's reiterating focus on yourself, focus on your self growth, because that does have an impact that helps raise our
That's the
vibration
collective.
as
Yes.
well.
Right.
So that's really the focus that he's telling me to spread for this year. Focus on yourself, and then eventually things around you will change. It may seem like 2023 in the big scheme of things might be a lot of 2022, but it's making way for ultimately a better future. He's trying to keep it light and positive.
Good. I like that.
So I think you call him Bestafar, right?
Yes.
Okay, he's coming back.
Oh, hi, Bestafar.
And Eric's saying he's right. You need to listen to him about breaking bread with your neighbor.
Yeah.
He's saying Bestafar is the one answering this and just trying to make this point that it's about taking care of things internally, more with your towns and your cities, and your neighbors, and taking care of each other. And as much as everybody wants peace, with the reality of war, he says in particular, it's not always the reality. And he says you have to do it like how we did it back
Yeah.
when you have to take care of each other.
Yeah, of course.
That's
There's
his
quite a
message.
picture of him. I can't see it. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Just about for my thing. I just want to ask the documentary that I think they're going to finish editing that in March. When will that come out? And will it be successful? The one that Paola Marino has developed.
Is
So
it set in stone for March? Because I'm kind of getting an iffy on the date.
No, it's not. We're hoping.
Okay.
some things I mean, I hate bringing it this far because I don't want to like personally disappoint you, but something is like in December.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I feel like
unfortunately,
it's going to be further.
something is
Will
going to
it be
be
will it be a success in the end?
so
I get positive vibes, but I feel like it's going to be it's going to take some time.
Okay.
Eric's saying it depends on how it's promoted, like anything else.
Okay,
It
well,
has
we
to
need
be.
your help, Eric. What about they're working on the TV series?
He's
what's
throwing
that?
glitter at it, and then there's like a unicorn going by.
Oh my God. What about the TV series that Melissa Chavella and Paula Marino want to work on? fiction based on truth.
Is that the name? What is it called?
We don't know, but it's we have a screenwriter, Michael Mahoney, that's writing the first pilot or whatever.
So is that going to be good? I guess the question is regarding that, good energy around that
Yeah,
outlook.
yeah.
There is something here between March and April that has something to do with that.
Okay.
Okay. Eric really likes this idea. He's bringing it, he's saying like, yeah, that he's saying could
Yeah,
be
really good
something.
energy around that for sure.
I don't know anything about it, but
Okay. Last
yeah.
question.
Both are good though. He's like, don't be discouraged or anything like that.
No,
It's just
there's
good
no
things can take
yeah,
time.
there's no discouragement with it. It's just he
No.
says
Okay.
it's the process of getting it right.
Exactly.
He wants it to be right,
Right.
though.
It's
So
about
he's taking the lead on. He's got
Okay.
his hand in this. He's got the lead hand in video development, editing, and the due process. It's like Paola could be at her computer working on something, and next thing you know, the doorbell rings, and this gorgeous man throws himself at her. I'm just kidding.
All right, so last question. I'm running this novel based on a lot of Eric's teaching called The Boy Who Would Not See. That's the working title, okay? This 7th grader, his father is blind, a Marine, in a crash that when the family, the mother, and then we're going to a Christmas deal. And it's parts of it are pretty graphic, but there's a lunch lady that's really like magical. There's a lot of paranormal elements. There's a lot of twists and turns, bullies and crushes and stuff. I have somebody helping me edit it because I don't have time. What do you think about that? Just being a novel, fun thing for me. And it carries so many of Eric's teachings. So that's why
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be published. He's telling me it's going to be published.
I'm also getting that it's going to be published, and he really likes the idea that it follows on. It's like a tale, but a tale of a true story. He says, like about the bully, and he likes the heroine or the hero and the whole scenario, and how he says he likes the story, how it evolves, and he says actually the development of it in part is partially how you wanted things to go for him.
Yeah.
He's going like this, mama.
Oh yeah.
It's very heartfelt for him. What's cool is that for him, because of where he is in his dimension, thought creates reality. So he gets to live through
100%.
alternative universe.
Oh good.
Of Eric's story and
I think it's pretty amazing. I think somebody is channeling this to me, maybe Eric. I don't know, but I mean, there's
100%.
There's like so many scenes. Like one scene, for example, the mother dies, and well, first of all, she puts her red before she goes, red nail polish on, and then she spills the bottle, and it gets all upset. And you see drip, 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 and then the crash scene, drip, 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 drip of blood. But then her nails are surprisingly, it's really crazy emotional. Lots of emotion, lots of paranormal, lots of mysticism and stuff, and lots of
hence the whole evolution of you coping with just time. He says it's not even just about grief. He says what bothers you also is the time that is passed since he has passed. And how much it's not just you grieving him, it's you grieving that time as a mother that you haven't had, and he hasn't been here, and it's almost like that's making you hold on to even stronger.
But I think this girl Louise, I can't remember her last name, the editor, she does some ghostwriting too, feels right. Well, maybe not, I don't know. And then
you just won't shut up because he's talking about more writing too. Like there's more writing you're supposed to be doing as well.
Oh yeah, no, it's God,
like a lot of writing.
Yes.
that he's super, super excited. Some stuff that he's super excited about.
You're going on a vacation somewhere warm though, like warmer than, I mean, not warmer than Texas, but
Our next vacation is seeing relatives in Norway in March, so I don't know.
okay, well,
All
plan
right,
another one. Plan
well,
another one because
will.
I definitely see somewhere tropical sitting there
okay.
scratching out on a
Better get into,
pad.
better get into my bathing suit shape. All right, thank you guys, Amanda and Abby. You guys tell people how they can get in touch with your awesomeness.
Yeah. So my website is amandaholderness.com. You can find me there.
All right, and this will all be in the description box. And
So my website's been down for a while because I took a really long break.
okay, well, we can get back to
doing
it later.
readings. But it's going to be back up soon. But for now, you can get a hold of me through my email. It's abbied@hotmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook. I have my own Facebook page, Brightside Medium. And you can also find me under my name, Abby Dagnies. And I have my own group on Facebook, which has like almost 600 people in it at this point. That, yeah, we do live readings and stuff like that.
Well, maybe this will be the first of many
My friends
A&A shows, people. Thank you so much. I love you both, and I love you so much.
Love you,
I
Amanda.
miss
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa.
Thank you for having the courage to do this, because most of the mediums would not want to. This is, you know.
Oh, we're just the ones that are the most batshit crazy, other than Heather, but we don't know
No,
that.
he pushed us. We'll have
My-
to tell you about that later on. It's crazy.
Okay. All right, love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.